After two recent murder-suicides in Bixby, we wanted to take a look at domestic violence in our area. The most recent case on Friday night left a woman dead outside her business after police say a person she previously had a relationship with confronted her and another man. After they argued, police say he pulled a gun and shot her before shooting himself. Then just over a month ago, police confirmed a prominent Tulsa leader in an ongoing domestic issue was shot and killed by her husband, who then turned the gun on himself at their Bixby home. We checked statewide, and the Oklahoma Domestic Violence Review Board told 2 News already this year there have been 17 domestic violence-related homicides. 2 News Oklahoma reporter KAITLYN RIVAS spoke with the experts at Domestic Violence Intervention Services about the increase in cases and what to do if you believe someone you know is being abused. KAITLYN.
Tulsa police say in June and July they responded to more than 100 domestic violence strangulations and more than 3,000 domestic-related calls.
DVIS is a nonprofit that works with victims and survivors of abuse. They tell me they're starting to see an alarming pattern with domestic violence homicides.
We see violence used as a source of power and control over someone. And so when you've exited the relationship or ended the relationship, that power and control, the need for power and control increases. And so sometimes you'll see excessive harm and or death, following a separation.
DVIS says during the COVID pandemic, domestic violence cases rose across the country, especially here in Oklahoma. But LYALL doesn't believe it's all blamed on stress from the pandemic.
We don't think that violence is caused by stress, particularly in the type of violence we're talking about. Is really more of an attempt to control or have power over someone. But those stressors can certainly exacerbate any violence that tendencies that are there already.
LYALL believes the 2 most recent deadly domestic violence cases in Bixby were acts of desperation, and she says those acts are growing. The Domestic Violence Review Board reported 18 domestic violence-related deaths in 2018, then 20 in 2019, and 31 in 2020. And now halfway through 2022, Tulsa County is already over half that at 17. LYALL says there are things you can look out for if you suspect someone is being abused.
As things get worse in relationships, you'll begin to see more and more isolation, perhaps unexplained injuries, particularly a drop in the survivor's self-esteem.
If you or someone you know is in a crisis or just have questions, the DVIS line is open 24 hours a day. That number is on your screen, 918-7-HELP-ME or 918-743-5763, or you can text SAFE to 207-777. That line is open from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Live in studio, KAITLYN RIVAS, 2 News, Oklahoma.